In the swaying forests beneath the waves, a dragon hides in plain sight. It does not breathe fire. It does not roar. It barely seems to move at all. But among the seaweed, it becomes almost impossible to see. This is the sea dragon, one of the ocean's most delicate illusions, a fish that looks like drifting plants, a creature that turns weakness into invisibility. Its body is covered in leaf-like shapes. Its colors blend with algae, kelp, and sponge. Its movement copies the rhythm of the current. To a predator, it may look like nothing worth chasing. Us. It looks like something from legend. But the sea dragon is not a fantasy. It is evolution written in disguise. To understand the sea dragon, we must enter its world. Not the open blue of tuna, not the coral cracks of moray eels, but the drifting forests of southern seas, kelp forests, seagrass beds, rocky reefs, places where plants move with every pulse of water. Here, survival does not always belong to the fastest animal. Sometimes, survival belongs to the animal that can disappear. Sea dragons are relatives of seahorses and pipefish. They belong to the same strange family. Long snouts, small mouths, bony bodies, and a life shaped by patience. But unlike many seahorses, sea dragons do not use curled tails to hold tightly to plants. They drift more freely through the water. Their bodies sway like broken pieces of seaweed. This drifting is part of the disguise. If a sea dragon moved like a normal fish, predators might notice, so it moves like the habitat around it. Not fast. Not forceful. Almost weightless. Tiny fins beat gently along its body. So gently, they are easy to miss. Against the moving kelp, the fish becomes almost invisible. A body pretending to be water and weed. This is survival through illusion. The leafy sea dragon is the most famous. Its body carries long, leaf-like appendages. These shapes are not used for powerful swimming. They are camouflage. Decorations that save a life. The weedy sea dragon is less leafy, but still shaped to disappear among marine plants. Its colors can be red, yellow, orange, or purple, matching the tones of algae, sponge, and underwater growth. The goal is not beauty for human eyes. The goal is confusion for predator eyes. A fish that does not look like prey is harder to attack. A body that looks like seaweed becomes part of the background. The ocean is full of eyes. Fish watching for food. Crabs watching for movement. Larger animals scanning the plants. To survive, the sea dragon must become boring to them. Not frightening. Not fast. Not obvious. Just another piece of drifting weed. This is why sea dragons feel magical. They hide by becoming beautiful in exactly the right way. Beauty here is not display. Beauty is protection. The sea dragon's hunting is just as quiet. Like seahorses, it feeds on tiny animals. Small crustaceans. Planktonic prey. Tiny drifting organisms hidden in the water. It cannot chase prey across the reef. Instead, it waits for prey to come close. The long snout points forward. The head aligns with the target. Then, in a sudden motion, it sucks the prey in. A tiny feeding strike, almost invisible. No teeth. No bite. No dramatic chase. Just suction through a narrow snout. Dose. It looks gentle. To the tiny prey, it is a sudden vacuum. The sea dragon is a predator in miniature. It hunts without drama. Feeds without chase. Survives without armor. Its entire strategy is subtlety. Be hard to see. Move with the plants. Let food drift close. Strike only when necessary. Then disappear again. This is not weakness. It is an energy-saving way to live. In a world of currents, every movement costs energy. A slow animal must spend carefully. The sea dragon spends energy on patience, on camouflage, on perfect timing, and on reproduction. Like seahorses, sea dragons have unusual parenting. But they do it differently. The female produces eggs. The male carries them. But instead of a deep pouch like many seahorses, the eggs attach to the male's tail. A special patch holds them in place. The eggs look like tiny jewels. Bright. Delicate. Exposed. The father carries them as they develop. He moves through the seaweed with the future attached to him. Again, the ocean reverses expectations. In this family, fatherhood is visible, physical, vulnerable, essential. The male does not give birth from a pouch like a seahorse. but he protects the eggs until they hatch. Tiny young emerge into the water, already shaped like miniature versions of the adults. Small, fragile. Immediately alone, the beginning is dangerous. Currents can carry them away. Predators can find them. Food can be hard to capture. But those that survive grow into living camouflage. Leaf by leaf. Shape by shape. Until the myth appears again. Courtship can be delicate and graceful. Sea dragons may move together in slow dances, matching the rhythm of the current, aligning their bodies, preparing for the transfer of eggs. In a moving sea, timing matters. The female must place the eggs correctly. The male must receive them. A small mistake can mean the loss of future young. So courtship is not just beauty. It is coordination. Reproduction in slow motion. A dance where every movement matters. After the eggs attach, the male becomes both parent and disguise. He must continue surviving, continue hiding, continue feeding, while carrying the next generation. The eggs are exposed compared to a pouch, but the male's camouflage helps protect them. The father and the eggs become part of the seaweed illusion. A dragon carrying life through a forest of kelp. Sea dragons are strongly associated with southern Australian waters. Kelp forests, seagrass beds, and rocky reefs are their homes. These habitats are cooler and full of movement. Seaweed bends with waves. Light flickers through the water. Small prey drift among plants. Predators patrol the edges. In this shifting world, camouflage must move. A still disguise would not be enough. The sea dragon must sway like everything around it. Its body does not disappear by standing still alone. It disappears by joining the rhythm. This is a deeper kind of camouflage. Not just color. Not just shape. But behavior. The sea dragon must act like seaweed to survive. It performs its habitat. This is what makes it so mesmerizing to watch. It is difficult to tell where animal ends and plant begins. A fin becomes a whisper. A body becomes a drifting stem. A predator becomes almost invisible. And a fish becomes a myth. But myths can be fragile. Sea dragons depend on specific habitats. Kelp forests. Seagrass beds. Rocky reefs. Places where camouflage actually works. If those habitats decline, the disguise loses its stage. A sea dragon without seaweed is exposed. A drifting body without cover becomes easier to see. Habitat is not background. It is survival. Coastal development can affect shallow habitats. Pollution can reduce water quality. Warming seas can change kelp forests. Storms can damage seagrass and reef structure. And human curiosity can also become pressure. Photographers and divers must keep respectful distance. A delicate animal should not be chased. It should not be touched. It should not be forced to move for a better photo. For a slow, camouflaged animal, stress matters. The best encounter is patient observation. Let the dragon drift. Let it remain part of the seaweed world. Respect begins with understanding its fragility. Protecting sea dragons means protecting their stage. The plants they mimic, the currents they drift with, the tiny prey they feed on, the quiet places where they reproduce. Without these, beauty cannot survive. Sea dragons remind us that delicate life can be highly specialized. They are not generalists. They are creatures of particular places, particular plans, particular rhythms, particular disguises. That makes them vulnerable, but it also makes them extraordinary. Their bodies are like living maps of their habitat. Every leaf-like shape points back to seaweed. Every slow movement points back to current. Every color points back to algae and sponge. The animal carries its home on its body. That is why losing habitat is so serious. If the home changes, the disguise may fail. And if the disguise fails, survival becomes harder. In the ocean, beauty is often tied to place. Remove the place, and the beauty fades. This is true for coral, for seagrass, for kelp forests, and for the dragons hiding inside them. Imagine a diver entering a temperate reef. The water is cooler than a tropical lagoon. Kelp rises like a forest. Light breaks into green and gold. Everything sways. At first, there is only seaweed. Then one piece of seaweed has an eye. A tiny fin flickers. A snout points forward. The dragon appears. It was there all along. Not hiding behind the forest. Becoming the forest. This moment is unforgettable because it changes the way we see nature. We expect animals to move clearly, to announce themselves, to separate from the background. The sea dragon does the opposite. It becomes background. It hides by joining the world. This is a quiet form of brilliance. Not strength, not speed, but perfect disguise. The sea dragon's life also reminds us that survival can be slow feeding, slow movement, slow courtship, slow drifting through the kelp. In a fast world, slowness feels fragile. But slowness can be strategy. Move too quickly, and the disguise breaks. Move with the weed, and the predator looks past you. The sea dragon survives by respecting the rhythm of its world. That is why it feels so peaceful. But peace is not the absence of danger. It is danger avoided through perfect adaptation. Somewhere now, a sea dragon drifts through kelp. Its leaf-like body sways with the current. Its tiny fins shimmer almost invisibly. Its snout searches for tiny prey. Its eyes scan the water. A small crustacean drifts close. The sea dragon tilts gently. The snout aligns. Suction strikes. The prey vanishes. The dragon becomes seaweed again. A predator passes nearby. It does not turn. It does not strike. The disguise has worked. The sea dragon continues drifting. Quiet as a plant. Alive as a fish. Strange as a myth. Perfect as an adaptation. This is the secret of the sea dragon. It does not need to conquer the ocean. It needs only to blend with one small corner of it, a kelp forest, a seagrass bed, a rocky reef, a place where illusion can become life. The sea dragon is not just beautiful. It is not just rare. It is a living argument for protecting fragile habitats. Because some animals cannot survive without the world they imitate. The sea dragon is a fish dressed as seaweed. A father carrying eggs through a drifting forest. A myth made real by camouflage and patience. The sea dragon is the living seaweed that looks like a dream.